Good morning. I'm Dan Flisser. I'm a member of the steering committee for the program here, also a member of the biology faculty at Camden County College, and another quick welcome to you on this wintry spring day, but it's always warm at Camden County College. For our presentation this hour, I am told that we will run the full hour. So if we're starting at 11 o'clock now, we will have the full hour for the presentation, and then I am told that there will be no break. There will be no 15-minute break moving into the next session. Okay, so we'll get started immediately. We have three presentations focusing on promoting adjunct faculty development. I will introduce each session, each presentation, and then once the presentations are completed, we will have a panel discussion. So that will give us about 12 to 15 minutes for each presentation, or whatever the group is comfortable with, and then panel discussion. Okay, let me introduce Professor Hummler-Fanor of Hudson County College, Hudson County Community College, who has worked out a series of adjunct faculty development workshops. This is a collaborative effort among the Department of Academic Affairs, Library Services, and the Center for Online Learning. It seems that the demographics at Hudson County Community College lend themselves very well for this sort of work. Hudson is a primary Hispanic serving institution where 55% of the students are of Latino origin, numerous first-generation students, as we find at many of our colleges. The intent of the program is to increase the instructional aptitude of the adjunct faculty, thereby leading to student success. So I'll give it to Professor Fanor.
So I'm here representing Hudson County Community College, and I'm just going to go through examples of what we do at Hudson County Community College in order to create and assimilate these adjunct faculty members, because as we know, adjunct faculty members are increasing in number as far as what percentage of them actually represent faculty members. I believe when I looked at iPads, we have about 95 full-time faculty members and about 410 adjunct faculty members. As it says here, just the adjunct faculty demographics. As I stated before, we have about 410 adjunct faculty members, and as far as their education level, for every other department except for culinary, we do have a culinary division, and they happen to have maybe associate degrees or high school diplomas, or some of them have more advanced degrees. Everyone else has to have at least a master's degree in their area of expertise that they're currently teaching in. Okay. And when they first attend Hudson County Community College, they have to go through some certain modules. So some of the modules that they first go through is the mission, goals, and the history of Hudson County Community College, and of just community colleges in general, because we know that this isn't a for-profit institution. We often had for-profit institution professors teach at Hudson County Community College, so we try to assimilate them into our type of organization that we have in an urban area. And basically just give them the logistics of how we accommodate individuals who have some certain types of disabilities. And the second module that we go through once they become an adjunct faculty member is just the classroom management theories and techniques. We may have a presenter who's been teaching at Hudson County Community College for a number of years, just present on some of their tactics that they have. We also have other types of workshops throughout their time tenure at Hudson County Community College, which focuses on, again, Hispanic students as well as African American students, and just students overall. The third module that we usually have is based on effective teaching and learning strategies and lesson planning for student success. We do understand that right now Middle States is really pushing student learning outcomes and assessment and things of that nature. So we like to go over these types of objectives with the adjunct faculty members who may it may be their first time actually creating a syllabus and speaking to other department members to see how we can collectively join together to have more of a cohesive environment for learning. And of course, we go over technology in the classroom, and the reason for that is we have Blackboard, we have smart boards in a lot of our rooms. Also, just getting them assimilated to our technology department, maybe they would have to borrow any type of cameras and things of that nature, any type of speakers as well. As far as their development, they're constantly increasing their development because we're constantly evaluating them, right? So that is a portion of the assessment that we have for the student learning outcomes as well. So they go through the same things that other faculty members go through, which is the classroom observations every semester, and also the student evaluations, right? And one of the leading things that we have in development right now, which it's developed, but we're constantly adding to it, is our Adjunct Faculty Professional Development and Services portal page. So right when you log in, right when these individuals log in into their portion, they get to see the portal page, which has some certain services for adjunct faculty members for their information. And one of the pieces of information is where the workspaces are in our organization. And these workspaces that are just state-of-the-art, that we have them in different buildings within our organization, they have computers, they have printers, they have file cabinets, they have copiers, so they don't have to constantly go to the library, they don't have to go to all these outside sources in order to do some of the things that they need to do as instructors. And these types of services are often available just 7 days a week throughout our weekend coordinators. But before that, some other parts of our adjunct faculty portal page, it has the faculty handbook. How many of us lose our faculty handbooks, right? How many of us actually know where it is, right? Also our gradebook demo, it's very confusing trying to navigate through Blackboard or through the portal for your first time. For many of us. So we have certain demos that they can just view exactly what to do in those certain circumstances when no one is available at the time. And again, we talk about just different available workshops just available all throughout the year. Okay. Again, as I stated, we have accessible staff 7 days a week. It's flexible in timing. We have Sunday courses, we have Saturday courses, and our staff members are available throughout the week in order to help out these adjunct faculty members, right? And specifically, they're able to contact the weekend coordinators. And as far as inclusion, how do we assimilate these adjunct faculty members so that they have a sense of belonging, as Maslow's theory suggests? They collaborate with student projects. We have I've seen some certain adjunct faculty members within the culinary department and business department collaborate and do projects together. And we also have coffee meet and greets. So just being able to speak to other people within certain departments and meet people that you wouldn't normally meet on a daily basis. Scholarship with colleagues. We have certain individuals within our organization that they write books together, they write journal articles together. So that's something that they constantly do. And as far as that, I know in certain colleges or universities, they're not, adjunct faculty members aren't able to have the privilege of teaching online or even developing any courses or online courses. At our college, they're able to teach online courses, they're able to develop courses, they're able to develop curriculum, okay? Also, they're invited to a lot of our divisional meetings, any type of meetings that they want to get into. And I believe we do have some adjunct faculty members on some committees. They're able to conduct workshops, right? And also, it's mandatory that they go through the orientation. Why? Because we just all need to be on the same page. As far as their intrinsic rewards, we're constantly illustrating to them just how much we appreciate them being in our organization. We have something called Appreciation Night, where it's just a lot of faculty members as well as adjunct faculty members and staff, and we have some certain awards for some of our top adjunct faculty members. And Also with this year, this summer will be our first time that we're having an adjunct faculty barbecue. And again, it's just another way to include them into our college atmosphere. Some of our extrinsic rewards, which people like to focus on sometimes, is the reimbursement. Any type of relevant professional development that they have at our college or any other college, such as this event as well, they'll be reimbursed for it, right? And also, we have tiered compensation. So after working 2 consecutive semesters at Hudson County Community College, they're available to get a certain type of stipend increase per semester because they've worked consecutively. Okay? But that is also after the orientation models, which they have to pass at a certain rate. I believe it's at a 70% rate that they have the exams. Again, we just have stipends for multiple workshops after the completion of the modules.
And the next presenter is Professor Helene Noor of Passaic County Community College, where she has, with colleagues, developed a centralized system for adjunct faculty development. The Passaic program provides professional development workshops through the week as well as on Saturdays in order to accommodate the full adjunct faculty. These workshops focus on college readiness, preparing the students for readiness, focus on managing students with disabilities, providing assistance and other services to the adjuncts. This includes systematic scheduled adjunct evaluations with the overall emphasis on improving the quality of instruction to bring about student success. Professor Noor?
Thank you for the honorific professor. I'm an adjunct faculty, and I'm also a part-time administrator in the adjunct faculty service office. We have a full-time director sitting here, and we report to the senior dean for academic affairs. So that's our hierarchy. I think as I go through my presentation, you're going to notice that there are a lot of similarities of what Hudson does and what Passaic does. So let me focus on some of them and just flip through those rather quickly. One reason you'll find similarities is because they're best practices, as simple as that, right? Support services, reward, inclusion, and evaluation are absolutely at the core of any organization today. We run a little bit larger than at Hudson, about 10%, so 100 full-time, 440 on an average. We're very proud of the fact that we have a retention of over 90%, and that correlates quite closely to some of the surveys we've recently had, where 88% of adjuncts indicate that they're satisfied and very satisfied. So I guess those two tie in together for us. Degrees held pretty much within the line of that. If you notice at the age group, we have about half or more who are 54 and plus. I don't know why we had that as the bracket in the survey, but that's how it turned out, okay? So, and within that group, we get a lot of retirees, professionals who are now coming to the classroom. Maybe they want the extra cash, but maybe they just want to have they want to continue. We also have a lot of high school teachers and multiple position adjuncts, which of course, as you know, make it a little bit difficult because they're hopping from one college to another. We have several who have been with us for more than 20 years. Physical plant, we have on the main campus, we have a separate building that has offices. Instructors can meet there with students. There are computers, et cetera, et cetera. There's assistants copying whatever they need. One of the things we got into 4 semesters ago was this automated adjunct hiring system. I assume that most of the people here are administrators. This is one way to save a tremendous amount of time and paperwork. Adjuncts love it as well. Instead of having to have a piece of paper mailed to them or whatever, they're given their courses, through an online system. They log in, they accept the course, and there it goes. So it's really been a boon. Okay. We do have a mandatory orientation for adjuncts. I think ours is a little bit unique in the sense that I've had adjuncts come to me and say, this is the only place I've been where the president and the senior vice and the vice presidents and senior deans actually meet and greet us and participate in this new adjunct orientation. So it makes quite an impression, and it is the way we want to operate. We want to have a feeling of everybody being integrated and knowing who to go to, as not within their department only, but within the college as a group. We have tiered compensation the first semester, and we have 4 tiers, so second plus they go up, and then it continues. 2nd through 6th there's 1, 7 plus there's another jump, and when you've been there for 15 or more, that's the top jump. And as indicated earlier, we have adjuncts who have actually been with us as long as 30 years in some cases. Years, not semesters, please. Okay. Additional rewards are sick leave. I think that's common in many of the colleges probably, right? Okay. But we also extend the tuition waiver for dependents. As indicated, we have quite a few who are 20 years plus, and even some 35-year adjuncts with us. Inclusion is a very, very important factor for us at PCCC. Department meetings, adjuncts are encouraged to attend department meetings. They receive a stipend if they do. There is normally, most departments have the mandatory first meeting at the beginning of the semester. Professional development, I feel, is the field in which we really excel. And you indicated that I created centralized, no, okay, not. I came on board. I was full-time at Passaic County for a short while, and I was an adjunct back in the 1990s even, before I went elsewhere. And professional development was given to me 2 years ago to work with my director and with the senior dean to create themes for each semester, to use feedback from adjunct faculty as to what needs did they have, and we, I believe, excel at this. And administrators, as well as full-time faculty, as well as adjuncts, present on the workshops. The numbers of this semester, we are at more than 50 workshops already this semester. We have 800 attendees. Now, obviously, we have X people who will go to 3 or 4, and then we have some who may go to 1 only. So it's, 800 comps out that way. They do receive a stipend, and as you can see, we run the gamut of what we cover. Systematic evaluations is the means of creating excellence in teaching. I did 25 observations last semester. Okay, I go across departments. My function is, obviously, I can't be an expert in topics, but my function is to help faculty move forward, to increase their talents in terms of teaching methodology. We have a follow-up discussion. It often goes on for 20, 45, 60 minutes, depending, and that's not necessarily because it's a bad observation, okay? But because we just get engaged into a one-on-one professional development. The other purposes, the other ways in which we do systematic evaluation are through the student rating of instruction. That normally both of these are performed obviously first semester, first year, and then again on 3 to 4 year intervals. As indicated earlier, these post-classroom observations can go on. So a good portion of my job is to observe adjunct faculty in the classroom and then do follow-ups. And we also use what we see in the classroom to help decide what we're going to do in the professional development workshops that we do throughout the season, throughout the various semesters.
Okay, thank you, Professor Noor. The next presenter is Professor Kathleen Svensson, who is surely an early riser, having come down from Sussex County Community College. She will be speaking from the perspective of the English department. The department has created a professional learning community comprised of full-time and adjunct faculty. Monthly meetings are held, which are intended to increase the connectivity between faculty and students. At these meetings, there is a sharing of teaching ideas, review of textbook writing, examination of current pedagogy in English instruction, and Professor Svensson would hope to extend this to a college-wide program beyond the English department. Professor Svensson?
Thank you. I don't have information on how many adjuncts and how many full-time professors we have at the college, and that because I really do want to focus on something that we have done that goes beyond the orientation and the regular workshops that the entire college does. Our English department has created a professional learning community. We have met for 5 years. So what I'm going to share with you is how we started and some things that are specific to the English department, but then I'll move into how we could expand that to a college-wide program. So we started with the guidelines for professional preparation set up by the Two-Year College English Association, and going from the highlighted, the red portions here, we are told that English professors should be reflective practitioners and flexible teacher scholars. They should ground their teaching in theory and research. They should collaborate with colleagues in developing curriculum and actively serve their colleges and their communities. They should participate in the professional community through conference presentations and such. Very importantly, the Two-Year College English Association also states that because adjunct faculty teach a large number of writing classes, that adjunct faculty should have the same preparation as full-time faculty. And this is where we're beginning. So we have, in our professional learning community, we also came across the Scholarship of Teaching and Learning. And it is suggested through the Scholarship of Teaching and Learning that professional development and assessment measures should be combined with the Scholarship of Teaching and Learning, and we do that through this professional learning community. So what is a professional learning community? It is missing my slide, there we go. A group of educators that meets regularly, shares expertise, and works collaboratively to improve teaching skills and academic performance of students. They're called many things at other colleges. There are collaborative inquiry groups, there are faculty learning communities, what have you. But the purpose is to get together and to really think about the way that we teach our students and how to best prepare them for continued work academically and professionally. Our learning community started with some issues that came up during our assessment process. So we are going to start with assessment. When we found some issues, we developed the learning community in order to address those specific issues. We did some research. We tried some new pedagogical ideas. We implemented them. We assessed them. We made revisions as necessary, and then we presented to the department as a whole. The learning community is different. It's an alternative to the traditional workshops in that it offers ongoing significant development, not just one-shot workshops that tend to promise miracles, but it's really hard to implement a new procedure, a new pedagogical approach just based on one single workshop. Our group consisted of full-time and adjunct faculty, and this is key because it allowed adjunct faculty to become more involved in the department as a whole, and actually allowed the full-time faculty to recognize that adjunct faculty have a lot more to offer than just filling a class and following guidelines that are provided by the college. There was no hierarchy within our professional learning community, so that even though we had full-time faculty, in fact it was started by our English department chair, he never acted in a role as an authority in the group. He listened to the ideas of all the members of the group, and anyone was allowed to share whatever they wanted, and we grew together as a group. And our efforts focused on the needs of the students rather than faculty issues such as orientation, classroom management, or curriculum adherence. We were actually developing the curriculum as we went along. So, as we started, we really did not know much about how a professional learning community worked, so we sort of just went through trial and error. Originally, our goals were to improve research-based writing. That was a problem that had been indicated by our assessment. We wanted to pilot a new text because we were unhappy with the text that the college had chosen, or some of us were unhappy, and we wanted to just look at other options. And we wanted to implement a more comprehensive assessment of research skills for sections of Comp 1. Our strategies included, right off the bat, incorporating research into every essay assigned, which was different. Our Comp 1 classes had originally started with just the end of semester research paper. We felt that that wasn't enough. We included some common assignments across the board so that we could use those assignments for our assessments. And we shared assignments that we came up with, successes, failures, and had discussion. Our goals changed significantly as time went on. So we expanded our definition of research. We started out just looking at, how to help students choose scholarly articles and, the ills of Wikipedia and that kind of stuff. And we moved into what do we really mean by research, and we expanded that definition. Our assessments also changed significantly. We moved away from simple assessments of just how well students documented sources to how they were actually using those sources. And we also started to use diverse textbooks so that the members of the learning community chose their own textbooks, which was something new for our college. In the past, adjuncts had been given a textbook that they had to use, and we were then allowed to choose our own textbooks. So again, with it being a trial and error type of situation, some things went very well and some things did not. Things that went well was that the members of the learning community gained a sense of inclusion. They felt like they were really part of the English department in a way that they had not felt before. The English department also began to recognize that adjunct faculty could contribute to assessment and curriculum development in a significant way, not just, holding the assessment, being given an assignment to assess and submitting it, but they took part in scoring those assessments with the larger department, and then what do we do with this? Where do we go from here? So deciding how to use assessment to improve student learning. And both the full-time and the part-time faculty began to see that the purpose of assessment was not just to collect data, but to actually improve learning. Jim Rollins was our English department chair at the time, and he was the one who started the learning community, and we did an interview with him. Some of the things that he said that worked really well with the learning community, we got together and began to exchange ideas. It boosted morale. We were able to present very encouraging data. The assessments improved. He says it was worthwhile for him because he got to pick the brains of other PLC members, which is interesting because we tend to think of adjunct faculty development as adjuncts learning from the full-time faculty, but in this case, he actually learned from the adjunct as well. He says that the idea of sharing materials and sharing strategies and successes is really at the very core of teaching well, and he said that he wished they had done it 44 years ago when he started teaching. So he learned a significant amount from our work in addition to what the adjuncts learned. Liz Amato was our novice adjunct. She had only been at the college for a year when she started, and she says that she gained a lot of information about the assessment and how to improve student performance, and she said she loved the camaraderie and the experience of learning different approaches to teaching. She did not have a background in teaching when she started. Some of the members of the community were former high school teachers and had master's degrees in teaching, but not everyone did. We had some professional writers and librarians, and there was various backgrounds. She also said that it helped the English department to accept adjunct faculty as viable members of the community, to see that we're dedicated, and most importantly, it made her feel like she's an invaluable member of the SECC community as a whole. So it was a very positive experience for her. Not everything went well. Because we really didn't know what we were doing when we started, we lacked structure, and we didn't move on in our assessment after a year. We kept looking at the same issues, and we needed to move on. I have some suggestions for how to prevent that from happening in the future. And some members left the college, as happens with adjunct faculty, and the administration was not involved with the work that we were doing. We kind of had the impression that we were allowed to continue, but they didn't take a real interest in what we were doing, which does not promote success. So recommendations for the future for professional learning communities. A successful professional learning community must have administrative support, make the Scholarship of Teaching and Learning a college-wide program, link it to assessment, create a research database on the Scholarship of Teaching and Learning, on assessment, and on disciplinary scholarship to make that research go a little bit more quickly. Establish an annual event to share the results of multiple learning community projects. We shared our results with the English department, but not with the college as a whole. So there were people who were interested in what we were doing and asked, what is this learning community all about? But there wasn't the opportunity to present to the whole college. And also encourage presentations at conferences. I believe that I am the only person from my college here. I'm not sure about that, but I think that professional conferences are very important, and it should be encouraged that all faculty take part in it. You also have to have departmental support. We had really only one full-time faculty member who participated regularly. We talked to other members, but no one really participated in the learning community itself. You should base your professional learning community participation on an application process that's open to everyone. There were some disgruntled adjuncts who were not asked to be part of the learning community, and I think that it would have been better. They sort of felt that the adjuncts who were chosen were, favorites of a particular professor or whatever. I think that if it's open to everyone, but you have to show a reason for your interest in it, then you're going to get people who are really enthusiastic about it, and people who are not going to feel like they've been left out, who've never been given the opportunity. You can't just choose to have this open to everyone either, because we have tried, as people moved on, we've tried to bring new adjuncts in, and if they're only there because they want to be part of the department but not necessarily because they want to do the work, they're not going to get involved in it, and they're not going to engage in it the way that they should. Should share research progress at all department meetings and use the results to revise learning outcomes if necessary. You have to have a plan. Again, we did not have a plan when we started, which means that our first semester was just trying to figure out what we were doing. So you have to have a purpose for being there, an idea of how you're going to get where you're going. You still can be flexible. A learning community really has to be willing to change to meet the needs of the community, but you have to have some kind of a plan to begin with, because otherwise it takes a while to get on the right track. You need to set clear objectives and have an action plan. And a time limit is huge. Again, we met for 5 years because we enjoyed the camaraderie and we enjoyed the opportunity to share ideas. However, again, we didn't move on to another objective, so that it was not as productive after the first year. And you need to create assessment tools that accurately reflect the learning goals. Again, when we first started, we were just looking at very superficial skills, and we needed to move into more comprehensive assessments. The Scholarship of Teaching and Learning suggests the following criteria to establish standards of scholarship. They're pretty basic: clear goals, adequate preparation, appropriate methods, significant results, effective presentation, and reflective critique. And they could be applied across the board. That's not necessarily specific to the discipline of English. And that's it.
Yes, sir.
I guess I'll start with the first question, and it could be to any one of the three schools or all three together. And my question is about the role of adjunct faculty in assessment activities. You spoke briefly about it in the English department. I would like to know college-wide whether it is course-level program assessment activities, and specifically how they contribute to that if they are involved. That's the first part of my question. The second one is that, do you share assessment results and findings with adjunct faculty, since there is a purpose and a reason for assessing our programs and deliveries? So, anyone of the
Okay, I can answer. So at Hudson County Community College, they are freely open to attend any meetings that we have about assessment. So they're definitely included in everything that we do, and actually with our student learning outcomes and any assessment procedures, they're also included with those meetings. So we value their input, because a lot of them, maybe some of them have more experience than the full-time instructors, right? So definitely we include them in absolutely everything that we're doing. They have open access to everything.
Well, if you don't mind,
Yes.
to manipulate the discussion, do adjuncts do assessment in their classes, and are the results, for instance, they take a capstone course?
Okay.
Our adjunct faculty doing assessment that comes from the department, with input from your adjunct faculty? Do they do assessment in their courses, and if so, how do they go about it?
I don't think they...
Professor Fanor, can I stop in? I've been asked to repeat your question so that we have it on here, and I will do my very best to do so. The question is on whether the adjunct faculty assess the courses, and if we can respond to that.
That I don't have knowledge of. I've never heard that they assess any courses. I'd be very surprised if they do assess any courses. I don't know if you have any input.
At Sussex, all adjuncts are expected to participate in the assessment of the courses. I don't know to what extent in other departments the adjunct faculty are involved with interpreting the assessments or whatnot. In the English department, we have adjunct faculty who participate in holistic scoring, and for example, I am an adjunct instructor, and I served as the English department assessment liaison for 2 years. So we have definite adjunct involvement. I don't know to what extent. As far as adjuncts being aware of the assessment results, I think that that's something that we're working on improving, because it's really not getting out to them as thoroughly as it should.
I think at Passaic County, we do, as you said, have some departments that do holistic grading, so everybody is involved. Sharing of that information trickles from department meetings to which adjuncts are invited. How heavily they're attended probably varies a great deal from department to department. Certainly that first adjunct meeting prior to the semester starting is another vehicle for that. And we try to include at least one presentation for which everyone is invited at least once a semester.
Yeah. Also at Hudson County Community College, with the meetings, everyone is sent the minutes of the meeting, so at least they have some type of idea what's going on, as well as we try to structure the meeting times around the evening time, just so all those individuals can have that opportunity.
Okay, question, yes.
I have two questions
Mhm.
Oh, yes, so it's in, oh, so with the modules, it's in person. Everything is in person. Actually, they have an actual booklet that they get to take at home and see some of the PowerPoint slides that were presented that day. So no, nothing is online, it's all in person. Also, I can also tell you it's like on a, what'd you say? Oh, no, there is no option for online right now. So it's usually, it's a whole day Saturday. Actually, it's, usually takes, I think, we do it in 4 Saturdays. So with the 4 module, 4 Saturdays. I guess there's less participation. Yeah, it's better with the participation because you get to have you know, the different views from other individuals within the classroom, as well as you have so many different views from different departments. Yeah. For the stipends, yes, because they're constantly. I'm, oh no, no. Actually, we're constantly trying to promote a lot of our workshops. We don't have as many as 50 in a semester, but we're constantly promoting them. But it's some people it's just the schedule, the timing, or maybe some people aren't interested as much. Maybe we're not promoting as much. Some people never log into their portal page to see that we actually have workshops. Some of them maybe don't even know that the portal page is even there, or maybe they forgot, even though that we told them in the modules that it's there. So I guess there's different reasoning.
Let me address how we handle it at Passaic County. There's an overall budget for professional development, but for each adjunct from each department, it gets billed back to the department. So if 10 people attend from the English department, that comes out of their budget, and it goes that way. We get a turnout, and when I say we have 50 workshops, some of them may be a specific Blackboard user group, so that might attract only 3 or 4 people on a Saturday morning, and we try to have several Saturday mornings each week, semester. We get as many as 50 or 60 adjuncts, and what I love about it is the inclusion factor. We serve a light breakfast at 8:30. 80% of them are there already at 8:30 talking with each other, and it really is, you know, and the sessions don't start until 9. And what we've experimented with this year, the union contract stipulates that the stipend is up to 2 hours. So we're running 2 one-hour sessions. So breakfast 8:30 to 9, then an information session or workshop from 9 to 10, a 15-minute break, and then another one. So that way we get the maximum dollar value.
Question at the top row, yes.
I had a question for Dana. You mentioned an automated hiring.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yes. I think it was developed, I don't think it's an outside software vendor. I'm going to ask, it was developed by one of our whiz guys who just is amazing at creating all sorts of, you know, lab reports. You know, students go into labs. He can, even though they're coming from various classes, he gets the instructors, gets it back to the instructors. So he's created this system whereby the department chair decides who's getting what, sends it out, it goes into their portal, they log in and they accept it, and it spells out, you know, the course information, it gives their level, so if, depending on their tier, it has that information, and they sign it electronically, and there you are. So amazing time saving, and adjuncts like it as well, because again, it's, you know.
Yes.
Yes, I'd like to ask the representatives of colleges how they manage their online course for LMS training for their adjuncts. How is that done at your institution?
Question on management of the online course.
I'm not that fluent in terms of what happens, but I think my senior dean for academic affairs can.
At the say, all faculty, full-time adjuncts are required to go through a training.
Of the online.
Dedicated senior faculty member who was given the task of basically training faculty, adjunct faculty as well. And there is some compensation as part of that training, but nobody is allowed to teach an online course before they have been through this training. Part of it is to basically become familiar with the technology, create a shared course, and then once they are certified by the trainer that they are ready, then they are allowed to teach an online course. We have distance education director whose job is to basically provide additional support and resources for all faculty teaching online courses.
Is your training for the online portion of that, is that done face-to-face, or is that done online?
It's a hybrid.
In some
It's a
cases,
hybrid.
it is online. In other instances, the faculty could meet, with a small group of faculty members and just simply have a discussion and a follow-up. So if the option, there is flexibility built in, so that the idea here is that, nobody can go in and teach an online course without being certified that they're able to do so.
Yes, at Hudson
Question up
County
here.
Community College, it's also the same way. Actually, I know that I've taught online courses other places, and that didn't matter to them. They said you're going to go through this training program, and actually, I think the issue that I had was the online courses. Well, the course that they were suggesting me take, it wasn't offered as often, right? So I wanted to take the online course. I wanted to teach online courses, but I had to wait months before I actually had the time period to actually take the course. So we also they also receive a stipend for it, for doing that. And what was the other question? So, oh yes, it's only face to face. Yes. Yes, it's all face to face.
Question, please.
Hudson County College, you mentioned the tiered system that you have, and for new adjuncts, you said that they require have 2 consecutive semesters.
Yes.
And then pass an exam.
Yes.
What is the nature of that exam?
Oh, so the exam is based off of the 4 modules that they have. Right, so just going through the ranks of what is the community college, the teaching methodologies and things of that nature. They get at least a 70% on that exam. So also with those 2 consecutive semesters, again, you can't teach fall and then skip the spring and then come back to summer or fall and get that consecutive benefit. Yes.
May I chime in a little bit as to what we do on the tiers? Because I left that out as I see my notes here. If they want to move up a tier, it's SRIs have to be excellent, observations have to be excellent, and a certain number of professional development workshops that they've attended. So, and they apply for it, and then that's validated, and then it moves.
Actually, that's great because I don't believe we have that. You just work consecutively, it's automatic.
Oh.
So that is a good recommendation, like that.
Yes.
Well, for all the professional development that you offer here at adjuncts, is it a separate center that's kind of running that for adjuncts specifically, or are you working with your teaching and learning center? Is it housed kind of together or separate? What's the relationship between the professional development for full-time faculty and adjuncts?
At Passaic County, that's the only thing I can speak to. I'm working on professional development for adjunct faculty together with the full-time director of adjunct faculty services. We liaise with the professional development committee. So when we put things out, typically, let me backstep a bit. I'll send out three emails to everybody, okay? And save the date and mini. Then the next one, okay, 10 days, etc. And we often it will go to everybody, okay, through the professional development committee of full-time. So Okay, so they are invited, just as adjunct faculty are, welcome to go to attend other things as well. We don't really have those fine lines in many cases, especially within department type workshops that's, totally mixed. Yeah, it's important. It's important for that inclusion factor. A lot of, with our retention rate, people feel at home by us, I think.
Yes, for us, we have an assistant to the vice president that handles all of this. Her name is Lalisa Williams, and she's our designated adjunct faculty person. So I know I was an adjunct in the past, and I actually still get those emails. So they send out the emails as she suggested, just save the date and things of that nature. So I'm constantly seeing what's going on, as well as they post it on the portal. And again, it isn't just for adjunct; it's for absolutely everyone. But definitely, there's things that are just more honed down to adjunct, so such as the 4 modules that they go through in orientation.
I think we can take another 1 or 2 questions. As I noted at the start, we're running the full hour, so we'll run up till 12 o'clock, and then the second session starts immediately thereafter. So 1 or 2 more questions. Yes.
It's really not a question, it's just a clarification. The stipend system and the feeder system for adjunct faculty is all contractual. Adjunct faculty have a union,
Yes.
and we have an agreement for 3 years. And what in the past we've had something comparable, now that we have a union, it's changed the parameters a little bit, and everything is clearly defined. So when we come to a 2-hour workshop, this is the stipend. We are mandated to attend an orientation, and we have to come to a department meeting. All of these issues, including the sick day of attendance.
Yes, are in the union, in the contract.
Actually, I do have a question. Do they receive the stipend in a separate check, or is it through the same check?
It goes through payroll.
Well, actually, normally what happens, Rogerio is the director of the Adjunct Faculty Office.
We submit the attendance to payroll.
Okay.
And they put it in a separate check. It's
Okay.
included. At the state, they get paid 6 times in the semester.
Okay.
So it might, depending on when payroll gets their list,
Okay.
it might be included in the first check, second, or third.
Okay.
So it's not a separate check.
Okay.
With the office.
Okay.
Okay, well, thank you. With increasing reliance on adjuncts, it's good to see that a good bit of attention has gone on to adjunct faculty development, assistance, and providing the best education that we can. Thank you very much.